This video is going to show you some of the tools that you can use to draw. Now to start this picture, we need to start off with the lines. We're going to outline all of the shapes that we want for this design, such as the head, the eyes, the hair, the shirt. So it's all going to be lines and shapes. So one of the major tools that you'll be using is the brush tool. And you want to set it up so it's the right size. You also want to set it up so it is the right color. We're going to be using black for all of our lines. So if you click on the foreground color, no matter what color this is on with the bar, the black is going to be on the bottom right hand side, just like how if you want to pick white, it's on the top left hand side of whatever color you have. So I'm going to make this black. You also want to make sure that you have a brush that is not fuzzy. So you don't want a brush that has a fuzzy edge, such as 65 like that. 19 is a good place to start. But the brush is going to be too thick. See here, the lines are going to be a little bit too dark. I'm going to hit Command Z, delete it. You also want to make sure that you have a separate layer other than your tracing paper and your background to be drawing on. So we're going to make the size a little bit smaller by hitting the brackets by the P. Something around 9, between 5 and 10 is usually good. So some of you may want to outline it and really try to make it look like that person. You know, you may want to stick to something a little bit more realistic, and that's okay. But you may want to have a little bit more fun. The little punk people are drawn with very geometric sort of shapes. She focuses on circles, squares, triangles, that kind of thing. So I mean, I can see the head as being sort of like triangular, more squared off. I can see the head being a little bit more oval. So instead of just drawing everything, what I'm going to suggest that you do is to start using some of the tools. Now there is a tool called, it's below the paint bucket. Now mine's doubled up. It's going to be different than yours, but it's going to be of various shapes. It should be underneath this gradient tool. It should be the one right underneath. Some of you guys might have a heart, some of you guys might have a circle. I just happen to have an ellipse. So I'm going to open this up and expose all the different tools by right-clicking on it. And the two that you're going to use is the line tool and the custom shape tool. And I'm going to start with the custom shape tool. I click on the custom shape tool and you can see that this top bar up here changes. I'm going to go to this drop-down menu. You can see the shapes that are available. Right now I just have it on shapes. I clicked on this side drop-down menu. If you want to look at all the shapes, you can see that there's a big variety of different kinds of shapes. We're only going to be using circles and squares, so I mean you can look through this big list here, but I'm going to just go to shapes. So you can see it's a smaller list. Here's your circle, here's your square, and the triangles here. I don't know too much about the triangle. I don't really recommend it. It's a little bit thick. You can see that the line is a little bit thicker. Make it a little larger so you can see. So you can see that that's much thicker. This will be working, this will be working. This one might be too thick. Okay, so I'm going to select the circle. X out of all this. And you can see the circle is exposed here. This shows you the kind of shape that you're going to be using. So you're going to drag a shape. It could be elliptical, it could be round. Okay. If I use the move tool, I can move it around. It's a different kind of layer though. You could see that it's shaded. It's a vector layer. It's a bit different. What I need you to do though is when you make a shape, and you can do this at any time, you can make variations to the shape after this, but at some point you're going to right click on that layer and you're going to simplify the layer. And you can see that it changed with the checkerboard in the back. It doesn't look any different, but it will react different. You'll be much more comfortable with that. So again, you can change the size of it however you see fit. If you want to use the square, it's the same thing. Go back to your tool. You can select a square. And I don't know if I wanted to use a square for her mouth or something. I can lay out a square. You can see that it's a different shape. I'm going to right click, or a different layer rather. You can simplify layer, and then you can move them around. It's good if the layers are separate, so you can move them individually. You can move them independent of one another. So I do recommend for every shape that you do that you have a different layer. Now if I wanted to use the brush tool, I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to go to the brush tool, and then I can go ahead and do my drawing however I see fit. And then, like I said, everything is independent of one another. Okay. The last tool I just wanted to show you, I'm going to get rid of that big shape. The last tool I'm going to show you is the line tool. Okay, it's in here. I'm going to right click. It's different than the shapes. It's different than the custom shape tool. It's the line tool. I don't know. I can use the line to make an eyebrow, make it very geometric. And you can see that they end up being shapes that make vector layers, very similar to what you had before. But you just got to keep in mind, they're so small, you got to keep in mind which one's which. There's that one. There's that one. Now I may want to join these shapes, these layers together. I may want the eyebrows to be in one layer, and I'm okay with them moving together. You can join layers together by holding down the command button, and you can select multiple layers, highlight them, then you right click and you go to merge layers. What that will do is it'll only merge the layers that that are highlighted. There you go. And it also simplifies it at the same time. So again, they can move independent against everything else. Okay. So you can use various tools, but again, I suggest making new layers for every element that you add. Okay. So you keep working on this. I'm going to work on this. In the next video, I'm going to have a finished product with just lines and all the layers. And then the next video is going to show you how to add color.